Corey.
Hey,
How's it
how
going?
you doing?
I'm good.
So we got this deal.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, pretty excited. Not gonna
It is
lie.
excited. Yeah. In fact, remind me what were you doing before this?
So I was trying the wholesaling or um, what he calls pretty house business, trying to do lease options with folks and just the marketing apparatus as you describe it. Just it was a money suck and so many people out there. The competition's like I had a few I got a few under contract that they all fell through for various reasons, whether it's just homeowners were, I mean, people who are willing to do some of that stuff. There's a reason why they're there, and they're the type of people they are usually. So you're dealing with those type of people, or just various things that just it's nothing that actually ever worked out. And so I just like spent a ton of money. I think there's still good education. I think maybe one day if I'm hyper successful, I might want to spend some money in the marketing and give that a go again. But I didn't want to give up. And that's when I came across, I think it was one of your ads. And I was like, I feel that. Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So are you feeling like you got good support from us to come in, start with the details, layer in availability? But are
Yeah.
you feeling like the team, Mike plus Corey plus Maggie, I mean, you feeling like your support's been a little more one-on-one and available trying to
Yeah,
get this done?
I think it's been good with what I've needed. I'm just trying to really going with this route, just absorbing, right? So I haven't been like gas to the pedal. And some of that is also, right. I've got a
Sure.
full-time job, right? So it's
Sure.
like,
That's your end, but our end, when you are ready,
yeah,
are we
no,
there? So
I
yeah,
think, yeah, for sure. So once
yeah,
I'm ready to be able to put more and more effort and time in, I do feel comfortable that the support's there. Yes.
yeah. So if I said we want to go as fast as you want to go, that's what I
Yeah.
want to make sure our availability is in. I want to make sure that we're asking you how it's coming every, a few days a week, and you have it. We're asking where you're at, vice versa. And when you do something, we're making sure that that's the feel I want because that's what speed to money is going to be.
Right.
Is
No, for
doing
sure.
that. Sounds like
And
you're,
and I appreciate the fact that I can text you and you respond pretty quickly. So I mean
yeah,
that's really
yeah,
outside of us like working in the same office.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate you saying that because like I said, right. I never want the Slack to be a gatekeeper. We want to
Yeah.
get business done. It's just,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to be like, oh, I'm too busy for that. Nobody wants to do that either. So the texting is nice. I appreciate you doing it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. So well, that's what I was going to go to next. Actually, I was going to ask kind of does it feel one on one? I think you'd say to me, well, the texting makes it feel even more one on one than some of the engagement that Mike and I would give you one on one. The
Right.
texting is supposed to make it be no kidding one on one. That's what I hear you saying too. You agree with that? We're doing okay on that?
Well, for sure. And I always have the opportunity to book calls with you as well, right? So
Yeah.
I can find time on your calendar as needed if I felt like I needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feel? I appreciate that. How are you feeling about getting the efficiency of the analysis? Remember, we try to really narrow this down to like near people, not too nice, too rough, not too rough, ARV
I
repair.
think
I
I
mean,
think
is
I've
that is
got
that getting more concise and accurate? Because that's really what just needs to become
yeah.
second
No,
nature, like
I
driving.
think
Is that we getting there?
yeah, I think I'm pretty good at that for the most part, right? Clearly you run across some of the issues in some of the areas just trying to find good comps, but I can do it pretty quickly. And in fact, when I sent you that message in Slack, like I kind of gotten to the point where I'm doing a very quick analysis. And I'm like, I don't see this as a ever working out. And I moved on, right? And I'm not even,
The
yeah,
viability decision, right?
yeah. So I'm not even putting stuff in the spreadsheet. I'm not even looking to have, like right now, having Leo call the realtors in a lot of cases. And so when you look at it, it's like, well, there's not a lot maybe coming from it. I'm like putting in 2 or 3 a week that I think there might be something there. And obviously, the more time I can eventually carve out, when eventually I can step away from a 9 to 5, obviously I'll be a lot more efficient at that point. But that all said, there's good feedback coming. I'm able to absorb and learn and takeaways, which is important. So yeah, but no, I think I can evaluate pretty quickly. You're limited to what's on the auction sites, of course, right? And there's some places that I probably just kind of steer away from because I don't know I want to have a house in that area at all, right? Yeah, or whatever would end up with it. Because I do want to do some buy and holds as well, right? It's not
We
all
talked
about
about that, yeah, and we'll get
yeah,
into
it's
that
not all
too.
about flipping, right? So, but yeah,
Well, the first one feels good, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It's been almost 2 years since I started this. So
2 years, and it wasn't 2 years now, was it? I mean, that's what I ultimately want. What's good about being on the other side of a closing? And again, we're going to go to profit. Just it's
right.
logistics now, right? It's logistics.
Yeah.
If the market's even the same now as it was before, we're looking real good, right? And by the way, just sidebar, the appraisal came back at 435. I still put
Right.
420. We had 410 on this, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, the appraiser says so. We'll see. I'd love to get 435. So it could be even a bigger $15,000 bigger number. We'll see. So I think we're being conservative here.
If we put a fourth bedroom in there.
Yeah, exactly right. But before we get there,
yeah, no, I'm just saying. I
know I'm with you. I get into it too. I get into the details of the thing. But before we get there, everybody, including you, including me, when I started, everybody's trying to say to themselves, is it a tangible process to produce a result that's worth it? Right. So looking at what you had to get good at first, and some of it was just technical, and some of it was what information matters and what doesn't, and carving away that way to get through all of that. But are you feeling like what you had to do to get here is worth it compared to everything else you had to do before?
Yeah, because you know what? It's all a learning process, right? And I don't think even from what I was doing, I mean, being a lifelong learner, right, is I think important. You can't change or get out of your rut or whatever the situation is unless you're willing to learn new things. And so even though some of that stuff didn't work, okay, I learned what doesn't work, or at least what's a really expensive way to work, and I'm not there yet. I don't have the cash for that.
Well, and to be fair, you learned a lot over there and paid a lot over there, and didn't have a result to show for it. I mean, other than learning, we all value learning, but we also value yards after the catch, and we can value yards rushing, but the score,
the results,
ultimately is in your favor or it's not, right? Nobody goes and plays the game to get tired and lose.
Right. Exactly.
So I think you're agreeing it's kind of nice to go play and learn and have a result.
Success. 100%.
100%. Yeah. So I always love celebrating kind of the first one, because it's just when it's real and tangible and done, then it's much easier to just keep getting a little better, a little faster than just routine. Again, because it becomes what's the exit, flip, or hold or whatever, but it's just like the finally feeling. You kind of have this finally feeling, don't you? Like finally the right work done with the right kind of guidance produces a close.
I mean, just turned 50. So, and what I'm doing now as a recruiter, right? I didn't start doing that till that was 2013. So 10 years, so 40 basically, right? So I changed careers, and it's kind of the same concept to become, I had no idea how to recruit, right? I didn't know first thing about it, but I took a chance, right? And I got really good at it. And I work for Amazon Web Services. Like, I mean, we're top recruiters on the planet. So I want to take that same concept, right? Go learn, get better at it, and then be great. So
very cool.
And it was the same thing. Like, it took a while, but then they got that first win, and then they start coming, and they come in bunches. Is usually how it works. So
that's how I always tell people, there's just so much to learn to be a good driver, but then you can drive everywhere. Like it's just time behind the wheel, but then boom. So you're feeling good.
Yep. And
somebody else should feel good if they'll repeat the work. Now, did I ask you to do anything crazy? Like, did I ask you what we could do? I'll define what crazy is, but this is web browsing.
Right.
It's a few realtors. Some want to be helpful, some don't, right? I'm just giving us some information, and we're getting a good offer in and going to the next one. And then we're learning some nuances on bid increment versus whatever. Is that a fair description? Browsing, not too nice, not too rough, near people.
Yeah.
These numbers in there. Again, accurate but efficient.
Yep.
This wasn't go to the moon and back.
No, it's not rocket science.
This is not 30 hours a week, right? We're not trying to homeowner after homeowner. This is, did I ask you to buy any software?
No. Yeah. No,
no apparatus.
I spent a lot of money prior to coming and joining you. I spent a lot of money.
Yeah. Because you don't need the software. You don't need PropStream for this.
Yeah. Well,
right. So there was no magic. Was there any magic AI lead process for this?
Yeah, no, right. Shit right now.
I mean, And it may become amazing, right? I mean, AI could become,
Yeah. It's not there yet.
but it's not there yet, right? It's not there yet.
Yeah.
It's not there yet because the lead flow thing is just lead.
Yeah.
So what I'm happy about, what you're happy about, I know, is you're thinking about how far down the I'm an investor road now because you're actually making the right offer and what's worth your time, what's not. Oh, now I can go here and now I don't. It's not worth my time. That's investing. That's
Yeah.
investing, not marketing.
Right. Exactly. That's what I was doing. I was learning
Jettison all the marketing.
Yeah.
So all that time got saved.
Yeah.
To put into.
I know how to market now. I know how to build that out if I ever need to again.
Yeah, that's because we're always valuing learning. It was learning, but
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited about this too. And I will add that was this any of your money?
Not up front. No.
Not up front, right? So so you're along for the ride now to learn all this. So we're going to bridge together and how do we get a rehab done
right
in Pennsylvania at my financial risk, not yours.
Right.
Did I sign for a big loan? Yes. But somebody else is involved on the down payment closing costs. That's pretty cool. So these can still be none of your own money as long as you know where it is.
Right.
But the more experience you get with these two, they don't have to be your own. Just because you could doesn't mean it has to be, because other people would love opportunities. Somebody was like, I can't do deals. I don't know how to do deals. I would love my money working. Great. How about coming in this one at 68.7%?
Yeah.
Total.
Let's get that up to 20% profit.
Yeah. We might, right? 435 was about 17, 18, but you do not laugh about this, but in today's market, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And does every house look like this? I like this one just because it is a nice house, double 2-car garage. Some are 1,500 square foot houses.
Right.
Not all this, but still money. Just 250 is different than 420.
Right.
But yeah, well, I appreciate hopping on and talk about this first, just because, man, you got to celebrate every win. And the first one really is just the first of many, because then it becomes, okay, now you can see, okay, about that much work took this much reward.
Right.
And when it's hours produce a reward versus, like you said, 2 years. I think I heard you right. 2 years of whatever effort you spent getting in there. And I would tell you, I don't know that you're any closer. I mean, you could do the marketing easier, but the odds aren't any different. It's still thousands.
Well, the competition and just the number of, I wasn't getting in it to necessarily like be a wholesaler, but I was like, okay, that's an exit, right? I was trying to do the buy and hold and do creative financing and just put in the tenant buyer and just flip it, right, in a different way. And there's just so many people out there that muddy the waters, that are doing the wrong things, that are unethical. It's just, what I realized is if I was going to do that, I had to be full-time in it. I got to be able to pick up that phone like right now, and I'm employed.
Well, that's what the live answer for. Remember the live answer?
Yeah.
Oh, they got to be available for you because you're busy. You got to get the live answer service, and they got to do
all that. Yeah. And I had all that, right? But still,
did.
Oh yeah. They, like with Ryan, he kind of gets you all set up initially. And then I started moving away from his stuff because they were slow, or I just didn't like the automation or whatever. And so then I was tweaking, kind of going with, anyways, I just kept on throwing money.
We all did.
Money.
We all did. Yeah. We all did. And so that's all. Is your wife pretty happy with this? Is she okay, or is she not? I mean, she shouldn't be nervous. She's got.
I don't think she really understands that it's actually happening. She's like, "Is it really happening? Is it really happening? Is it really happening?"
Well, now you go happy. We just had the closing, conversation that's actually on the HUD.
Yeah.
Done. So yeah, everybody wants to check. We'll do that next. But yeah, make sure she understands we actually bought this. We actually own this thing. Yeah. So it's exciting. Well, great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you hopping on and good. Again, I like the opportunity to hop on and say, we want to be back quickly. We want to carve it away. We want to be the one-on-one, and we want to be one-on-one without guys charging $40,000.
Right.
Because you don't get the guys.
Well, they weren't one-on-one. Their mentorship was not good. You get a half-hour call once a week, maybe some responses on email. I mean, not good. Like,
or a group, or a community.
I was expecting a lot different mentorship than what I ended up getting.
It's really consulting. We should just agree it's consulting, really. They're going to give you some time. It's your job to turn into money or not.
Yeah.
That's very different than profit share. Let's go make 70 is different than, if you do it, great. If you don't, I give you my time. You bought my time.
Yeah.
Or the community. The communities are even worse. You can't even get a good answer from a community. You'll get wrong answers and be more confused, right? But okay, cool. Well, that's very cool. I appreciate that. Good. Well, the opportunity for me to be here for you is were there questions on this? Any other comment? Like what, just something we didn't get to talk about on the way? Like what? What do you
Yeah,
want
so
to
I
do?
guess let's just talk about Big Sewickley then. So as we move forward here, tell me a little bit more how the process kind of plays out from this point as we do the rehab and my involvement. And so
Yep.
how learning kind of really, you know,
Yes. So and just going off the training and what will happen too, right? So the agent involved, good contract, get a good contractor. Home inspector involved, get a good contractor. They both go in, ideally apples and apples of scope, but they'll do their own scopes and we'll see who's seeing what. Get the agent to help agree on the actual scope because we cannot have issue with 400 what for what we're doing. Fourth bedroom or not, like what are we doing? That agent has to buy into yes, that scope with those finishes will get us there. In my opinion, barring a market change, I'm agreeing that's the best house we can put forward, right?
yeah. Okay.
We get that sign off. And whatever contractor we hire, and there's an agreement that says go do good work. Maybe they can float some material, maybe they can't, but we're not paying $1 of labor until they get inspected by the agent, inspected by the lender, inspected by, guess what, that home inspector, what we're doing now? Hey, home inspector, go back out there, $100, whatever. Don't go, you're not doing the 3-hour inspection. Just go out and make sure this work got done right.
Yeah.
Because the picture taker back to the lender's office, we found is insufficient.
Yeah.
You can get a lender saying, oh, yeah, that's fine. And it's not fine. So I want the cosmetic realtor look, like, yep, I think that looks like something that's acceptable to a buyer. And then the actual, this was done right look is all checks and balances.
Okay.
So as we get a couple guys involved, we'll say, hey, we got these guys involved, Jared, and they're doing their thing. And here's the scope we got back. Look at these 2 scopes. We'll just keep you in the email chain.
Right.
Back and forth. Judy really comes online here, our rehab project manager, and starts coordinating some of these things to get done as fast as possible. Now it's a race to get on the February market, but we want to be on the February market.
Okay.
All right, January's kind of slow.
Yeah.
So a February 1 listing, if we can get, I think we can get this done. 90 is not a, I mean, that's a big number because it's a big house. It's not a bunch of trades. So anybody else.
A lot of the demo's already done.
Yeah, well, I tell you, like the 90 is not a big, it's a big financial number, but we look at it and what rehab size to me is how many trades are involved. Are there permits or not? Are there trades or not? Like how many, is it like 6 trades? That's easy. 19 trades, 15, like one guy before the other and's got to step over the guy. Well, that becomes like project management, right? But go get this done, then go get that done, and nobody's in each other's way, and it's just a few guys roll through, done, right? So that won't be that bad. But we'll just keep you in the loop on that so you can see what's happening. Nobody's asking you to make any decisions. Certainly you can provide feedback, but it's all about buy-in and sign off and inspecting before people are paid labor.
Yeah.
So you're never past a draw before there's a problem identified, before labor's paid. You don't want a problem after labor's paid. Nobody wants that. We just got to roll through that as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's already a draw because we had to produce it. So there's a Google sheet with a scope of work on the left. And Judy will start putting kind of chunks of work in a draw schedule on the right of what kind of bits and pieces that we think we're going to be doing. Ideally, it's no more than like 3, but they lay it out now. And so the chunk is done, inspected. We're going to lay those chunks out ahead of time. Not every contractor can get really good at like 3 chunks. If it's a GC, they can do that. If it's kind of hiring some trades, it's, well, we know the next 2, and then we'll kind of put these down here and just kind of push them off. But you got to lay it out, right?
So
you'll get access to that too.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So do you usually go with a GC or do you usually just kind of piecemeal
if the prices are right, if the price is right, you go with the GC because if he'll save on material and save on labor to make his money, great. If it's like, I'm going to upcharge you on the material, I'm going to upcharge me and my guys are standard anyway. I'm managing for extra money. We don't do that as much because it's perfectly fine to have some trades go look. And again, when you get referrals, this is the critical part. When you get referrals, they want to do well for the home inspector that referred them, and they want to do well for the agent that referred them. Like, oh, Jared and Corey are out of town. We'll do whatever we want here. You don't get a lot of that because they'll get feedback from the people that referred them. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to these people? Like, they don't want that.
Right.
You got to get the referral.
Yeah.
From the people involved in the project.
Yeah.
100%. So we'll see. But that's the process next. You can see how that works. And then, of course, next time we get involved in like, okay, Jared, well, you need to get the home inspector. We need a contractor referral. We need one from the agent. Go make that happen. Get him in there. Like we start having you do the same thing we showed you we did. Any questions you can come ask, of course, but we get you involved more to be helpful.
Yeah.
We're still making decisions. But by the time you do one, like where you're doing a lot of it too, and we're making decisions, well, then you're ready for, hey, I think I got this. Let me just tell you what I'm doing and get affirmation.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon you don't need anybody, which is the independence you want to get through those. But yeah, that's what happens next.
All right.
Answer your question?
Yeah, it does. They're just looking at next steps, right? So
%.
yeah.
Yeah. We
Cool.
got the draw process figured out with it. I've used this lender a couple times now,
Okay.
and they got a new app, and they try to. It's not super like we like it, but we had to sort it out on another house, and so we'll be pretty smooth with them. And I'm super excited because I just got another lender working on a couple right now that should be 95% of cost. These guys were
Oh,
like 87 or something. That was not
yeah.
great. That's why there
Yeah.
was a lot more down payment.
Right.
But a 95% lender is awesome, and we'll talk about that. And so it's just all upside, all
Yeah.
upside. But this will be one that's in the hopper for you on experience. So,
Yeah.
oh, I meant to that. We'll have to. I think we made some adjustments, but the lender I just talked to at 95, they still give credit for somebody at 19, 20%.
Oh,
They'll still give, like, you can still put Big Sewickley on your list of houses you've done
right.
with them, which is great. A few of them are like 25, but we're gonna do what we got to do to make sure
Yeah.
that
Well, I mean,
you're on the operating agreement.
this starts building that credibility that
That's what I'm
says,
saying.
this is where I
We
want
got
to
to
go
make
get
sure.
lenders.
Yeah, we make sure the
Hey,
agreements. That's why there's an economic relationship and a legal one on an operating agreement, because you're in the deal. I'm indifferent what percentage. It doesn't affect the money.
right.
I mean, so we got to make sure that is what it should be to get the credit, the experience you need. So that's the
Right.
whole point of being in a deal and learning, is to get the experience for your future lenders,
Yeah.
because you
100%.
need that too. So very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had for you. If you don't have
Okay,
anything else
great.
for me, I think we're on the same page, and we can
Yeah.
do some champagne popping this weekend
Yeah.
and start rolling right into this, and then do some more champagne popping when we get that big check.
Perfect. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Okay, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
Yep. Bye-bye.